We see it so often where the UK government, on both sides, and it's happened in the past for both sides, where they come out in support of survivors and they're going to promise to do so much for survivor services related to CSA in particular, let's say. And very often it never comes to fruition. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But one thing that we never seem to see is increased sentences for perpetrators of CSA. Now, I'm very much aware that increased sentences may not do a lot for prevention, let's say, and this is an argument that people make often. But at the same time, we've got to balance prevention, and I'm someone who is, dedicating my life to prevention of CSA. But we need to also look at punishment as an aspect of this, and I don't think we see it enough. I've seen so many stories recently that really get to me, because you're seeing people who have had multiple offences of CSA getting 5 years less, 4 years, or even suspended sentences. Prison sentence of 4 or 5 years is not going to bring fear into a perpetrator, and it's not going to act much as a deterrent. I agree there has to be a balance. People need rehabilitation. Everyone's human. But when someone has gone to the extent of physically, sexually abusing a child, I think it's a very, very serious crime, and it needs to be treated that way, and currently it's not. You're seeing people with minor drug offences being put on the same prison sentence as someone who has sexually abused a child. That will impact an individual for the rest of their life. A lot of my friends that I've met on here often speak about the frustration of them walking down the street and seeing the person that sexually abused them, and they're just living their life happily. And so I'd love to know people's thoughts on this, but I believe we need stronger sentences, not just for the fact of a deterrence, because it may not work as one and people will argue that, but for the fact of punishment that comes into play. We can't just focus on just prevention in this. I believe it needs to be a punishment for someone's act, and justice, proper justice.